Welcome to the Life in the United States Family Finance Simulation. This is our next unit in here related to budgeting, and this is the simulation we will be completing next. So you will be making a spending plan, and you will be making decisions for your person that you have received in general, and you can read the rest of the objectives. So what is this all about? There are 18 families in this simulation, 25 individuals. Depending on how many students were in the class will depend on how many we will portray. You've gotten a name and you've gotten a folder. And so in that folder is your family that you have. Your name is the person on the tab of your folder. These are all supposed to simulate the United States with the number of people who have bachelor's degree versus high school diplomas versus how much income that they make. So it's kind of a cool simulation when you look at all the people added together. So you are better off in a community. All of our families have values, needs, and wants. You do not have to create a poster, but what you need to do at this point is look at your family. It will list your family here, and then on the back side of that first page will say your age, who's all in your family, your occupation, where you live, and then in the background information at the bottom it will show some of the things that your family values. So please take note of that. You can mark on this paper, or you can just make sure that you understand. You want to get to know your family as well as possible. So please pause the video and take a few minutes to do that now. Okay, so then when you come back, what you're going to be doing for your family is making spending plan decisions for your family, balancing income and expenses for 1 month. You're doing a 1 month budget for your family. So these are some of the things that you'll be completing. You will not be completing everything, so please follow along in the presentation to know what you do need to complete. So here we go. I told you to check out your profile, which is your background information, and anything that's in red has to be included in the spending plan. So you might want to cut out some of your family's things. Maybe they are a smoker and you don't agree with that, or maybe they enjoy swimming lessons and you're not a swimmer. It doesn't matter. Whatever your family values must be included in your spending plan. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is make a SMART goal for your family. In your folder, setting a financial goal, you have the directions for a SMART goal, and they're also in Moodle as well. So let me take a minute and to show you how to get to that in Moodle. So if you're in the class for Moodle, you're going to go under our financial goals and budgeting unit. We've finished setting financial goals now, and now we're on to our life in budgeting activity, which is right here. So there's 3 different sections in here. This is the PowerPoint I'm going through right now, so you don't have to look at that one. But the student notebook information is where you will find lots of information. You do not have to save this. You can if you'd like. But this is going to, I have the papers in your folder that you'll need, and then you will be completing the Excel spreadsheet. So this first sheet is a SMART goal. So you're going to look at your family and decide what's a goal that your family could set. You've set SMART goals for yourself. Now you're going to set one for your family. So what specific are they saving for? How much? How are they going to reach it? Realistic and time-bound, and then your final goal statement. So you will need to write that down on your paper in your folder, but it's here as a reference. There's also, if you notice, 31 pages in this packet. So this packet we're going to refer to a lot. It's going to have a lot of the information that we need in order to buy a home and buy a car and things like that. So I'll just minimize it for now. Okay, so you're working on setting your SMART goal. You can pause the video here and you can complete your SMART goal for your family. After that, now we're going to look at your paycheck. So in your folder, there is a paycheck for you for 1 month. If you are married, there's one on the back as well. But if you're not, then there'll just be one paycheck. So in this case, I have a family that is married. So there are 2 paychecks. Gross income is the amount. It's listed here, gross pay, and it's on your paycheck. That's the amount you make before taxes. Then you have all your payroll deductions, such as Social Security, Medicare, 401k, all kinds of things, and then you have your net income, which is the amount of your check, the amount you take home. So now what you need to do, this is the first step in now building the budget, is we have to have our income. So you're going to record your gross income. You're going to record all your paycheck deductions and verify that your net income matches either the two people added together or just the amount of your one check. We are going to be putting that in Excel. So I'm going to go back to, I'm going to have to click back from my notebook, back into my life and budget, and here's my Excel spreadsheet that I'm going to need. You can do it in a Google spreadsheet, that is fine, or you can do it in Excel, but I'm going to open it from where I have it saved. I'm going to enable editing, and then scroll to the top. And this is the budget that we'll be filling in, and Excel has formulas already in here, so that's going to help us out a lot. So our gross income. I'll pretend that I am Irving Nelson. I'll pretend I'm not married, just for simplicity. So his gross pay, it says, is $3,505. And if it doesn't say anything about commission, tips, or bonuses or other, then I'm going to leave it at that. That's just his income that comes into his check. Okay, then I have to fill in all his withholdings. So I'm always going to use the current column. 359 is his federal withholding. His state was 126.18. Social Security is 217.31. Medicare is 50.82. 401k is 245.35. And medical is nothing, it's 0. Additional withholding is 138. So those are all his payroll deductions. I can check to make sure it equals the same amount on my thing. And the net income amount should be the amount of the check, 2368.34. So that's the amount that I'll be working with in this simulation. That's how much money I have in a month, and that's what I have to allocate over all of my different categories. So I'll save this, and you'll want to save yours as well. Make sure it's saved, or save as. Make sure you save it in an appropriate file so you can find it. And then the next step is saving. So in saving, we want to save about 10% or more if we can of what our family's net income is. We put that away so that we have that money whenever we would need it. So we're going to start off by saving 10%, and by doing that, we'll be able to adjust that later if we need to. That's the partner budget that we can make higher or lower depending on what we all spend. So you can see the percents of how much about we should spend in each category. For housing is our biggest, 30%, transportation 20%. There's our savings. This is other, food, and insurance. So at this point, first I'm going to go back to my Excel spreadsheet. My savings right here is 10%, so I'm going to do equals my net income times 0.1. Times is the asterisk. And if I do that, I'm going to try to save $236 every month, and you can see 10% automatically went in here. Now I can adjust this number later and this will change, but that's how much I want to start off by saving. So you need to fill in your Excel sheet appropriately. If you have questions, you can email and ask. And then when you're at this point in your folder, behind your SMART goal, there's a neighborhood reflection note-taking guide. Looks like this, and that's what it says on the presentation. And what you need to do now is stop, and under savings, taxes, paychecks, reflection, just put in a couple of sentences on how you think your family is doing so far. Are you going to be able to save the amount that you have, do you think? Are you having a lot taken out for taxes, not as much as you thought? Is that going to be a good amount for paycheck? This is just a reflection that's going to help you later on when we get to the next or the ending reflection.